This week we've visited a lot of different Kuna villages, and we've had some really nice and friendly encounters with the Kunas. We sailed from Snug Harbor to Mono Island, and on the way there we had a little stop for lunch on an island called San Ignacio de Tulipe. We were anchored quite far off the island, so we decided to take Carlito's sail out, and we actually sailed over with a little dinghy. And that was a lot of fun. It was actually the first time that I sailed it for a longer distance. When we got to the village, everyone was super friendly, and we found a little place, like a Kuna place, where they sold some chicken with patacones. But it was nice because we were like seated on top of one of the Kuna huts, and you could actually see KARL at the anchorage from where we sit. So that was really nice. We spent a little bit more time than planned on the island for our lunch break, so we arrived a little bit late in Mono Island. Well, actually just for the sunset, so no, it was still okay. It was a nice anchorage, very calm with lots of mangroves around us, and we had a very calm night there. The next day we sailed down to Ustupo, and it was a little bit longer sail this time. As soon as we arrived, there's a Kuna lady who came out with like a piece of paper, going like, showing the paper and going like, like not even talking to us. So I asked her, you know, what's going on, like, you know, what's all this? And she's like, then explaining us that we have to pay $15 because we're anchored on their island, and so we said, look, we're just staying one night, and we're gonna buy a couple of things on your island, so maybe we can talk about this $15, and what is it for? Yeah, it's for the community. You have to pay. And then there was like more people coming, telling us you have to pay this money, this and that. They were being all like super unfriendly. I mean, it's one thing that you have to pay something for staying on an anchorage, but it's another thing if you come to an island and someone doesn't even greet you, but comes out with a, you know, with a bill that you have to pay. And so we felt that was a little bit rude. So we said, look, we didn't know that we have to pay. We're gonna go back to the boat, check out how far the next anchorage is, and if we can make it, then then we're just not gonna come back. So it was already quite late, and it was another 12 or 15 miles to the next anchorage. But we decided, we both looked at each other and we were like, come on, no, we're not gonna go back and pay 15 bucks, we're gonna go. And actually we're really lucky because the wind was just freshening up and we had a beautiful, beautiful sail. We were doing like 5 to 6 knots and KARL was just like pacing it, and it was the best decision that we could have taken. So we arrived with really the last light to Isla Pinos, which is an island that looks like a big whale when you see it from afar. And there's like 2 reefs that you have to go in between when you come in. Well, and the light was already kind of getting less, but we did make it. It's a very, very flat anchorage. I think we're anchored in like 2.5 meters of water, which is not a lot, but it's kind of sheltered. So, and there's nothing we could do because it was already like kind of night. So we decided to stay. We got to the village. It was dark. We were asking some people. We say like, oh, do you think there's any food on the island? Is there like a restaurant or something? They're like, no, there's nothing. So we're just being persistent. We just go and ask more people. And finally there was a guy who, it wasn't really a restaurant, I think. It was more like, he said it was okay if we ate at his place. And we just chatted to the people. The people were super friendly. It was really nice. Like after some time, first they all look at you and they're a little bit skeptic, but then after some time they open up and they come closer. They ask you all sorts of questions, and it's like a nice, you ask them about their life, they ask you about your life, and it was really good. And we had a really nice evening. The next morning we decided to take a little hike up the hill of Isla Pinos. And at the beginning we were actually just looking for the trail that went up the hill. And as Mathieu is a mountain guide, he was the one that's supposed to lead the way. And I'm the captain of the boat, he's the captain of the land. So I had to follow. And he decided to go to the left. I might have gone to the right, but that's another story. And all of a sudden we find ourselves like, going through this swamp and with the feet in the mud and everything. And there's like a little river that we had to cross. So we had to climb up this palm tree to actually pass this river. And well, I try to climb it and I hold on to it. I lose my shoe in the mud, so I had to go back and grab the shoe from the mud and then crawl over the palm tree. And I think my last clean shirt after that was completely covered in dirt, and I think it must have looked pretty stupid as well. 100 meters later, we come across this bridge. The hike up the hill was maybe an hour and a half, but it was really nice. There's lots of little tiny animals. It was nice to be in the forest. It was kind of hot, but it was good to be doing something different. When we came back down, we went into town and we went to our friend from the night before, from the restaurant, and we wanted to buy some pulpo, some octopus from him. So we asked, is there any octopus? Do you have any pulpo? He's like, yeah, sure. How much do you want? And we're like, yeah, I don't know, like maybe for like $4 or something. And then we actually figured out that this octopus still had to be caught. So we took the opportunity and we asked if we can come along to watch the guy who catches the pulpo. Whilst we were watching that guy catching the octopus, there was a couple of Kuna kids who were hanging out with us, and they got really, like, after some time they opened up a lot, and there's like these two girls, they're crazy about my hairs, so I had to open them up, and they're like touching them, and like, you know, they're like they're making like a plate, and they're really cute, and they're coming like close and being like kind of touchy, and you know, they're like comparing skins and asking all sorts of questions. She was really cute. This guy caught like maybe 2.5 kilos of octopus. I tried to explain that we don't really need 2.5 kilos of octopus, and that, you know, maybe we can just get what we wanted, but he was really wanting to get rid of this octopus, so in the end we paid $5 for 2.5 kilos of octopus, and it took me maybe 2 or 3 hours to cut it all, and I think it took us 2 or 3 days to eat it all. So tomorrow we have the first little bit longer passage, which is going to be 30 miles going to Puerto Permir, which is close to the Colombian border. And well, we've got these 2.5 kilograms of pulpo that I made a stew out, so I think we definitely have enough food for the journey. And well, we're gonna leave tomorrow, and I hope we're gonna have calm seas, but more about that next week.